All right, so we're going to look at section 4.4, which is systems applications. So this is where we would actually use systems to solve word problems or something like that. So how do you use a system to solve a word problem? Or, I'm sorry, when do you use a system to solve a word problem? So we use a system of two equations. I'm not even going to try to write that in there. I'm just going to see if this text box will make it fit. Two equations. Oh, dear sweet baby Jesus. All right, there we go. That looks a little better. All right, we're going to use a system of two equations when there are two unknowns or two different scenarios in the problem, okay? So how do you set up a word problem using a system? So we read the problem, okay? Mentally list the items that are known and the items that are unknown. Assign variables to each of the unknown items and translate the information in the problem into algebraic expressions with two different variables. Reread the problem, write two equations, a system, using the items from steps 1 and 2, solve, write your answers in words. Reread the problem, and this is the catch. You need to make sure your answers are reasonable. Otherwise, yeah. Okay, we need to just make sure our answers are reasonable. So this is easier said than done. So let me show you what I mean, okay? So here's a couple of practice problems. So we're going to set up a system, and then we're going to solve it. Okay, so one number is 2 more than 5 times another number. Okay, their sum is 20. Find the two numbers. Okay, so I automatically straight up know that this is a problem about two different numbers. Okay, I do not know what they are, so I'm going to assign variables to them. Okay, so example, it tells me one number is 2 more than 5 times another number. So right there, I know that one number, I'm going to call that X, then another number, I'm going to call that Y. Okay, so looking at this, there are two sentences, so I'm going to have two systems. So this is how I teach Algebra 1 how to translate. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see what we're talking about. Whenever I see the word is, one number is 2 more than 5 times another number. Is always means equal. Okay? 2 more means we're going to add then 5 times another number. So we're going to do 5 times y. Okay? So that right there is my very first equation. So that very first equation is going to be x equals 5 times another number plus 2, because it has to be 2 more than that. So that's why we multiply first, 2 more. Okay? Looking at our second sentence, their sum is 20. That means sum we add is 20. So that means I have to add them together. So I know that my second equation is x plus y equals 20. So this is my system. Okay, that's my system. But now I have to solve it. What are my two numbers? Okay, so we have talked about 3 different ways to solve a system. Looking at these 2 different equations, it's quite obvious to me what way we need to solve. Okay, so looking at our first equation, it's already solved for a variable. So I'm going to use substitution. So I'm going to plug this equation in for this x value. Okay, so let's go ahead and work this out. Okay, so we have x plus y equals 20, but I'm going to substitute 5y plus 2 plus y equals 20. So notice all I did was replace the x with 5y plus 2. So now we combine like terms. So we have a 5y and a y, which gives me 6y plus 2 equals 20. So we want to solve for y now, get it entirely by itself. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So I get 6y equals 18, y equals 3. So one of my numbers is 3. If I know that they have to add up to 20, I can plug it in to that equation right there. So we get x plus 3 equals 20, which means my other number has to be 17. Okay? That's how we would solve a system story problem. Okay? Mr. Hicks had $15,000 to invest. He invested some at a rate of 6% and the rest at a rate of 7%. If he earns $980 in interest, how much did he invest at each rate? Okay, so I have a total. This will be fun. I have a total of $15,000 that I need to invest, or Mr. Hicks needs to invest. So that means some of it gets invested at 6%, and the rest of it gets invested at 7%. Okay, so I know that the total amount, regardless of how much it's invested, so I know that x plus y has to equal 15,000. So that's how much money I have total. So now I know that I have to also earn $980 in interest. So this is where 6% and 7% come in. Okay, so I know that x sum is invested at a rate of 6%. So oh my goodness, what is happening? Okay, stop it. Okay, sorry guys. 0.06 is some of it's being invested at 0.06, and the rest of it is 7%. So 0.07y. Okay, so here are my two equations. There's my system. Okay, now once again, this one is actually, to me, I think going to be easier to solve using substitution. And the reason why is if you look at our top equation, the x and the y both only have one coefficient, and that's the number 1. So I'm going to go ahead and solve for y, which means I'm going to kick my x out. So this actually will become y equals 15,000 minus x. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to substitute 15,000 minus x in for this y value. So it becomes 0.06x plus 0.07, 15,000 minus x equals 980. Okay, so we'll distribute that 0.07. Where's my calculator? Okay, so 0.07 times 15,000. All right, so we have 0.06x plus 1050 minus 0.07x equals 980. All right, so we're going to combine like terms. So we have 0.06x, negative 0.7x, 0.06 minus 0.07. Okay, so I'm running out of room, so I'm going to put it up here. So we have 1050. All right, so negative 0.01x minus 1050 equals 980. So to get x by its side, that doesn't make sense. What did I do wrong? Okay, that should be a plus. That's why. Okay, my fault. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we're going to to get that x value by itself, we're going to subtract 1050 from both sides. So 980 minus 1050. Okay, we get negative 70, so we get negative 0.01x equals negative 70. So to get x by itself, we're going to divide by negative 0.01. So x is actually $7,000. So $7,000 was invested at a rate of 6%. If I have a total of $15,000, oh hey, that was weird. Okay, this is really weird. I'm sorry, guys. I don't even know what's going on. Okay, nothing's showing up on my screen. Yay for technical difficulties. But if you still have this up in front of you, y is going to equal $8,000 because 8 plus 7 is 15. Okay. Let me see if I can figure this out, but there are a couple more on the back that you can give a shot.